Hello, and welcome back to Roslyn. If you're watching on YouTube, this will be episode 28. And I'm really excited because today we're going to follow up on this great shopping center we built here, Eureka Center, and the metro station we put out front to start building Roslyn's metro system. So I've been thinking a lot about what this is going to look like. I've even made some maps. So the purpose initially of putting this stop here was obviously to get ready for a factory street line that'll go all the way down to the yards and be able to extend as the city continues to grow. And you can see I've done a little bit of work off camera here, getting ready for residential expansion. Just prepping some road layouts in a way that I'm excited about to sort of fill in like Eureka slopes later. Because to justify this sort of transit expansion, we're going to want the city to be nice and healthy. The other thing about putting in this big transit system is that I think City Hall and this municipal campus down here needs to be a central feature of the system. So that sort of complicates things from just being a straight line on Factory Street. I think having a Factory Street line is still going to be the best way to do this. But I also think it's important to work the City Hall campus here into this metro system somehow, because as the city continues to expand, and even already, being able to get out to Baymouth Beach or the university down there, and then as you can see, I'm also planning to develop this island out here. So I've already put in one metro stop. You can see it there. Now we need to find places for a couple more. So what I'm thinking is this place right here by Market Station is going to be it's going to become one of those spots. So the first thing I'm going to do is come through here and honestly think I'm going to D-zone all of this. And I'm going to come through and just get rid of the fencing. My plan is to take... I've got kind of all of these content creator pack metro stations out here. You can see 3 of them here are sunken, including this big Metro Plaza station. And then there's 3 that are elevated as well. We're still going to be working underground out here. And I like the idea of having this big stop over here. We're going to see... So I think, obviously, Grace Street is going to have to break here. You guys gotta go, unfortunately. The question is, where can I bring this through at? Unfortunately, that's gonna have to go. So they're not super happy about it, but that's what happens sometimes. And for some reason, there's already a bus using this. How did that happen? Honestly, the bus lines over here are still kind of a mess, and I think I would like to dial them back just a touch. What I want to do is come through here. I'm going to hide the middle line, hide the Valley View line. We're looking at Dusty Road, and I think we're looking at, what is it, Sandy Street? Yeah, so let's hide that for a second. And just come through with this, because this is getting a little out of hand down here, as I anticipated it would. So we'll just put that stop there, and we'll move that. It is interesting the buses can turn around in the train station there. Put that back one. Okay, I think that makes a lot more sense. So then we can hide that for a second and bring Sandy back up. And again, I want to take this and I think we'll put it... Just move it up one there. Get rid of that. That just creates a much more logical pattern around all that, I think. Really, I could dial them back one more even, but I kind of like that. They're still coming up to the train station. It's just going to help, I think, break up the bus traffic a little bit. Again, we're grabbing this guy. Oh, interesting. Oh, we can bring it through this way? Okay. So I want to try to make this... Let's see, because that one is like right up against factory. We can have a little curve to it for sure. Then I gotta come through with the tunnels here. Actually, we may merit another stop right through here. So I want to see about perhaps grabbing this. We can bring this little guy through here and sort of just alternate these big and little stops. Just trying to figure out how I want this up against the sidewalk there. Don't know how close I can get it really. Will it touch? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Just bring that out like that. When you're doing these, you really got to think about where you're coming out of and how you're getting into stuff. Is that still a little off? That's not bad. Do just a little better here though. There we go. And then I did toy around with the idea of putting one more stop up here. Right here, I can just go with one of the simple ones. How am I looking on budget? Everything's still running okay with the budget. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. And I want to go ahead and turn this on. Oh, I need to turn this on as well. I'm just going to start adding stops in here. And we'll see how this looks. This actually has... Yeah, that's very good to know. That can do bypasses. This little one cannot. And this big one... I think has just 2. Okay, good to know. So, let's see, we're rocking just under 2,000 citizens per week, 85 tourists. We're going to see what this does. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the game a little bit. Because we are raking in cash right now, so money's really no object. And this will be interesting because there's a lot of redundancy to this line right now, obviously, with the tram. And let's see how the Factory Street tram is doing. Oh, it's so overloaded. And here's exactly why we're doing this. Because these stops are horrendous. Wow, okay. So I may even back this down to see if we can drive more people to the subway. And we do have our first passengers. Okay, I'm going to let that start to sink in for a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to come through here and do a little bit of landscaping. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen. Mistakes were made. So I want to start adding in some pedestrian access here. I'm going to turn these snap twos off. Probably even take the grid off as well. So, try to come in here. So we're just trying to create access between our key intersections around here and the different spots where you would maybe want to go as a pedestrian. You'll see me use a lot of X patterns. That's because that is what sort of creates the most direct paths between these different spots. And that's going to delete that if I try that, so I'm not going to do that. Just trying to create some connectivity. Okay, what is the actual access point on this? It's right here. So I wonder if I should find a way to bring this path down here, right by here. A little bit of eminent domain there. It happens. I'm going to try and make that as gentle of an angle as I can. I need to come through here and change this height thing. Okay. I think we can settle for basically 30 there. Almost have it. Okay. So hopefully that'll help feed some traffic out to there. So we've got 9 citizens a week right now. Yeah, this is not getting any pickup really. This leads me to believe I don't really necessarily need 4 stops on this line right now. If I can make this more of an express line instead of being duplicative of the train, I think that's the way to go. So to do that, I'm going to try to be very careful about this. So I'm going to delete that, this, and then we need to just link this up. You've got to go, unfortunately. There we go, that did that. Go ahead and get rid of this. So now it's just going to be a line from there to there. And obviously we can plan to bring another major stop down here. But just don't really quite need NYC level subway coverage every couple of blocks here. So we'll see if that helps. It's just 2 stops now. Because meanwhile, we're going to need to bump this up. I think we can really see the tram shine here if we just let it do its thing. There are some other spots where we want to drop in some train stations. The key one being, as I mentioned earlier, City Hall. To do this, we're going to have to do another major D zone here. If we think back to this one, because I hate that house, so we'll do that. Load this at AM. I love this neighborhood. It's a shame that I'm coming through now in these places that I put in so much time detailing to do this, but you know, that's the name of the game sometimes, is you make upgrades, it happens. And then what I want to do is pull... Okay. Question is now, will this fit here how I want it to? We would slow time down again. No, it will not. It's far too large. So I have to get rid of this and this. I'm going to D-zone some more out here. Maybe back to there. Get rid of some more fencing. Pull all these out, and then we'll try this again. So I think this is going to be a really nice use. You've already named this City Hall Station. Really excited about how this can be utilized here, I think. Question is, okay, so it's got like 2 on top and 3 on the bottom. I want to think about where things are going to be running eventually. Do I want to bring this in on some kind of diagonal so I can kind of straighten those out? It's not quite enough space. Back all this out again. That'll fit. I think that'll work, because as you're climbing the stairs there now, you see City Hall. I really like that. First of all, this one up here. Do want to be cognizant of where I'm putting these train lines, though. So I want to try to keep them, just as we would with water pipes, somewhat under the road if I can. Where they would still be easily accessible for the public right of way. Okay, yes. So this one I want to bring up here. Kind of just hook in right there. And then I also think we're going to want to station down here. And I also want to call attention to, I moved this inner city bus station down here, which was originally up by Eureka Center. I just thought it made way more sense down on a campus. It's really nice to have a bus stop on campus, especially this is not a big city for the size of the school. I guess not really right now, but for the potential capacity of it, there's a lot of potential. So I did want to bring, maybe that's another episode though, because there's a lot. I think I want to do an episode trying to level up the university here a little bit and building in some more around this. So for now, let's just stay focused in on this transit stuff. So I want to turn that on. And then I want to create a line that goes from right here and back. I guess if there's no way to do that without them crossing over. I don't understand why it has to be like that, but so be it. And then we'll go ahead and bring this one also out here and then just back. And it's not going to let me move. Is it going to let me move? No, it is not. So I don't understand how the subway traffic works necessarily, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and start this running again and see how we do. I'm just going to make sure we've got just one train a piece on each of these. I think that's all we really need. Line 1. Okay, so I'll level up there. Okay, that's actually a great spot for you to turn around. Good. Okay, and then we can go ahead and bring this back through like this. Something going on with the terrain here. So here's like clearly, you can see that's like, people are clearly going to want to access to that. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe that path's not going to work there. Okay, let's connect it up a little better. Could be better though, I think. How close is this going to let me bring it in? It can really be like up on it there. Okay. Looks a bit jank. What if I So we're going to do this and just... That's arguably worse. So the issue is that this road right here, Marceline Street, is definitely not on the same level as this train station. Which means we either have to delete the train station, which is doing very little in the way of traffic. I think this is just so early in the build for Metro. I'm not sure this was the right call, but I wanted to get some of these big things, big assets down in here, you know, to be prepared for what's to come. Normally what I would do in a situation like this is I would take this, right, and I would just bring it up just a little bit. But it's giving me space already occupied now. I don't even know what that means. Oop, okay. Maybe that'll work. So if we really start it back here, and do this. And then like that. It's just a little bit high, isn't it? This is one of those situations where being able to use stairs would be a huge difference maker in pedestrian connectivity. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it did have an effect. I'm not really clear what the effect was, though. Okay, that did not connect up, though. Okay, that's definitely not it. Interesting effect, though. What if I start from up here? Okay, we're so close. And that's not it. So what if I do this now? Bring that back up. So sometimes you'll see this where the game wants to play with physics of things that aren't there. So that's sometimes how you make it work. I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna mess with that anymore because that is remarkable that that is in the condition it's in. Okay, it's gonna give me distance too short there. Go ahead and do that. Can we bring that in even more? Yeah. Try to make that all feel nice and integrated there. Interesting. So again, we're just trying to create all kinds of pedestrian connectivity through here. We're seeing some utilization now. There's some folks trickling in here. And again, I think this is really going to shine more when the population goes up. Speaking of which, I don't think there's any reason we can't just go up to there with some high density residential. Create a little buffer. And then we can bring in some more commercial here too. So just going to try to fill in now around this area to justify this major development. Go ahead and level that back up. Do just want to check what the noise outrate is like on this. It's pretty loud. We can definitely buffer some of that. So, I'm going to look at some other spots to put some little shops here maybe. I think that could be more apartments. Okay. Everything is coming right along here. I'm going to go ahead and drop an office right in there too, I think. Let's go ahead and check on our train lines again. So up to 27 people, we get a lot of tourists. That's very interesting. So Metro quickly becoming a favorite of tourists. That's really spiked our weekly tourist traffic. And again, like barely anything right now, but really interesting start. And that makes sense because part of why I chose the areas I did is that City Hall, Eureka Center, obviously have very high tourist appeal levels. Which is important because that is Market Station, where this other stop is where people are going to be coming in to go visit touristy stuff. The other places I may want to put some trains here, in addition to Ross Poly, which I think is going to have to be its own thing, is it might be nice to have something down here by Baymouth Beach. And I think that one is going to be especially important to keep super simple, at least for now. Eventually, would it make sense to come through here and do something more substantial? Yeah, potentially, for sure. For now, I think keeping it simple is ideal. Slope too steep there. So we can do it right here. We'll be right next to the old folks' home then. How about this? I like that spot for it, yeah. Don't necessarily want to send it right under the elder care facility, if I can help it, to be honest. Which means maybe this isn't even the best spot for this. What if it would fit right there? Pretty close to the beach though. Another option would be up here. Right by these apartments. I like that. We'll see if the noise ends up being too much for them. That would be the one thing I would anticipate there. I'm going to go ahead and bring angle back. Okay. go ahead and run one from the beach there to... dang it. Okay, we will not run one from the beach yet, because I don't want that to be hooked into the same one as our other stop there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And honestly, I think maybe against my better judgment, as I see our population just go back into the green, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these. So now I'm going to come through here. We'll do this here. We'll do this here. And we'll do this there. Okay. And then we still have a 5th platform in there open to eventually go to Rospoly. So I'm actually really liking how this hub is sort of shaping up here. But obviously not the most efficient subway system in the world, but we'll take it. 0% car trip saved on any of these. Let's go ahead and check on the Factory Street tram. This is even worse than before. Terrible news. We're going to bump this. 40 is a lot. Let's go with 22, 26. I mean, what's it going to take, you know? This is somehow overloaded. Summit is fine. But yeah, Factory is in rough shape. I'd really hoped the Metro would take some of that pressure off of that, but it clearly has not. Let's dig into this a little bit, shall we? So here's clearly the big problem stop. And it is quite literally within walking distance of that. So let's see where people are going and figure out if we can understand why they're not. Oh. Never mind. I guess everyone is dispersing. Did I accidentally delete that? What just happened? Oh, I apparently did. Okay, where's that going to send everyone? So some people are just going to hoof it. I want to watch this crowd right here, because if they're going to go just down to this next tram stop, then that was pointless. But if they're going to go to the train station here, that's a difference maker. Here comes the horde. And not a single person went to the train station. They're all going to the tram stop. Trams are broken. They're just clearly too efficient, is seemingly the problem. So I don't know what to do about that, short of... Oh gosh. I mean, I guess maybe looking at a different form of transit. I wonder if it's got something to do with that the tram stops are so readily accessible on the main street here. Whereas the trains, you have to go back and around and underneath. Let's just check in on this row of apartments here now. Honestly, why don't I dehistoricize a few of these and we'll just see what pops up. This is already huge. Got away from me. Offices level up so fast sometimes. Okay. I like this big one here, yeah. And that has this nice entranceway on the side as well that we'll want to feature. Didn't do it. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and back these off because I want some big spots right here, yeah. I think another block of apartment buildings right here would be nice. And do big ones down on the end there. Actually, no, I would like to leave 2 where I can, because 1 is really not quite enough with these sometimes. So go ahead and do this. And I wonder even if I should leave some more room back there. What if we do it like that? So we're back in our 2x3 here, but with a little bit of a different vibe to it. So we'll have a couple of spots here with apartment buildings packed in really tight. We'll have a couple of spots where they've got a little more room so we can do some detailing in between. I'm going to leave a couple of these dehistoricized for now, see if we can't get some more activity going there with the level ups. And actually, it might even be good to think about one of these in terms of a park. We do have the Roslyn High campus right here. It wouldn't hurt to think about potentially having, I don't know, maybe just a plaza right here. Yeah, I don't hate that. Can I do one on the other side too? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that a lot. Oop, and I want to catch this before it levels up again. And that is the worst building in the game. I wonder if right here, so I don't want that either. Let's just do the end of that block all the way. I like some of what this is doing here. Especially when I come through and detail this all myself.
Okay, we can come through with these. Some big ones with big holes there. These little ones in the little holes.
Now that's created a really nice little public utility there. Important thing is that having this sort of slightly, this is really starting to feel more like a downtown now, which I really like. It's a nice little spot back in there. We may even upgrade this to the path with trees. And I can come through and turn these into the California palms. So now this has turned into quite a nice little block of apartments right here, I think. And it really is creating more of a sense of density towards City Hall there, which I really like. Because I think eventually, really all of the grandchildren here, maybe even some of the daughters, could really become a proper high-density downtown. The reason I like that is because on your views into the city here, hopefully I want to maintain the City Hall, the train station, and Worker Square statue as 3 key points in the skyline, especially if you're coming in by train. So that'll all be hidden behind that. The other key aspect of this is, as I said earlier, I want to come in from over here eventually too. So City Hall's not going to be a problem. The statue's quite tall, and those domes are quite tall too. You can see really where stuff is now coming in at level 1 is sort of where it's going to max out if we want to maintain all of these sight lines. That said, I'm not sure what else there is to do today. I think honestly I want to get rid of all this and just open up this space as more of plaza. And make this feel a little more, yeah, go ahead and get out of here. You can go, and you can go. There we go. Now that just feels like a little bit more of a yard there. I think that makes some more sense. Okay. I think it would make sense to see more commercial down here if this is going to feel like a proper downtown. Not sure how that's going to happen just yet. Oh wow, some of this has gotten really high. Okay, definitely need to historicize these before this gets completely out of hand. Okay, really not too bad. There's one or two really big ones there. That's really the tallest building in the whole city now, I think. I mean, incredible views though. You would see this sort of thing come in, I think, as a sort of luxury apartment eventually. Let's just see what it looks like from up on the roof here. Oh my god. You can see the train station over there. Windmills, Worker Square. I mean, you've got this view of this, like, incredible urban farming operation right in the heart of the city here. Which, by the way, I think is going to be slated for some changes before long here as well. And then the rest of Roslyn, just do some skateboard tricks up on the roof. That seems fine. Just crawl up here to the part where you're not supposed to be. And there's a massive fire right down over there. So that's great news too. Always love to see that. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So here's some of these other apartment complexes I've put in the past. Definitely inspired the design I just did over there. You can see just trying to mix in some green space around these while using the decorated park paths. Looks like that fire went right out. So we love to see that. As for this spot right here, what would it make sense? So I think what I want to do, yeah, this has got to extend basically over to Roslyn High here. And then maybe let's look for some park assets that would be nice over here. Oh, you know what actually might be really nice? Could do this. Just see how this looks. It's the kind of place that would feel like a real institution, I think. And it's going to add a fair bit of value to our downtown area as well. There we go. I'll just hook that up, so if you were going to eat here, you could walk over to this beautiful plaza. And I'm honestly really tempted to bring commercial in right here as well, to be real with you. I wonder, maybe if I just pop down a little corner store there. I can do another one right here. And I may even want to turn this into commercial. Population's been pretty consistent throughout the video here. I'm not too worried about dropping. We've been adding a lot in. These are all going to grow quite substantially as time goes on too. So now we have a lot more urban living opportunities down here, which I think is very cool. Educate more citizens, so that's just going to happen as time goes on. Let's go ahead and check our education levels. So we're just barely, I mean, you can see where all the new construction is right there. There's not really an elementary school down here. High school, we're sort of just riding the line. Of course, that is right there. I wonder if it wouldn't make sense to throw an elementary down here somewhere. Could also put it out here on the shore. we'll do that. And that is like a self-contained situation there. So I'm not even going to bother with playground. There we go. Okay. So now that should make it a little easier for folks down here to get educated. Which makes sense because if we're going to continue to densify down here, especially, it would be good to have some extra capacity in the immediate area. Let's go ahead and check on our train lines again. Okay, we're seeing a little utilization now. What are our numbers at? So the tourist count has gone down a little bit. I mean, we're down a little bit of citizen traffic across the board overall. Factory remains completely problematic. So we've got one busy stop right here. One busy stop right here. And one busy stop right there. So that's very frustrating because this one is literally next to the train station or the metro station, as is this one. I don't know if those are people who maybe are coming off the metro and trying to get somewhere good. I don't know what that's about. What I will do is take a look and see if there are maybe a few spots on the tram line here I can get rid of. So maybe that doesn't need to be a stop anymore. And maybe we just do one stop here. And one stop here. And then get rid of those. Okay, looking pretty good so far. And then I think I just want to move this to right there. So we got 27 trains out here right now. That did mess up some of our stops. Well, you know, the other thing I wanted to do while I'm working down here by City Hall, actually, and I want to throw down a save for this part, is I want to turn all of this into one-way tram roads. And we're just going to try to turn this into a collector here functionally. This has been a long time coming. Valley View bus line is quite popular. And I want this effect for like headed into City Hall. You know, I think it's really desirable. Okay, so that takes care of all that. Let's just take a look at what the Valley View bus line has been up to. Because 140 passengers, and you can see this pretty busy stuff there. I'm just going to delete this though. And everybody's going to get upset. Then I'm going to come to the rescue. So, first I'm going to start down here. And then I'm going to go, I want to say every like 3 blocks.
Let's see how this looks.
It's still 04. Oops. We're going to call it... This is now going to be the Valley and Grove line, because even though that street forms a one-way loop now, I don't think we would really expect to see it all change to the same name. Because those streets would have been those streets for so long. Wow, I really got that close, didn't I? Okay. That to totally change it would really, I think, disrupt people's understanding of what that area is. Oh, sorry, it's Grove and Valley, not Valley and Grove. So I do want to go ahead and name these. I'm going to call this the A line. And I want to make these lime green to sort of match the station so that they are evident that they're the same thing. I'm going to call this the F line for Factory Street. Metro line 3. This will be the, I guess we'll call this the C line for Eureka Center. And then want to make this the B line for the beach. Always make a B line for the beach, right? It's the best place to be. Okay. And then eventually, maybe we'll have, I mean, it'd be nice if the C line was for the college, I guess. And the E line really should be the E for Eureka. Okay, so then we'll have C for the college and D for, I don't know, maybe the daughters? We'll figure it out. And then I do just want to take a quick check on the budget. So we're spending quite a bit on trains. And I don't think we need to be, given that we're not going to see a big return on that investment in terms of ridership anytime soon. It is a significant expense. Go ahead and bump these up a little bit since trams are so popular. Let's just check power and water. I mean, we're right in the green on both okay right now. Pretty basic, but it works. Go ahead and check in our education situation here. So stuff's stinging up. Oh, don't want that to go too high there. Might be too late. And this got big very fast. The commercial's upgrading very fast. Not sure how you feel about having that at your back window there. Go ahead and throw in a row of trees back here. There we go. Create a little bit of privacy there. Folks in these apartment buildings aren't just looking straight out into your backyard. There we go. This is really starting to feel like a proper downtown here, I think. I mean, it's really starting to fill in now and feel a lot more urban, which I really like. And I'm going to have to call this soon, otherwise it's going to get too long for me to edit again. But let's go ahead and check in. Oh my god. Okay, so this is very popular, and I did not do a good job preparing this. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and see if we can't get some trams out here. In the meantime, that's doing fine, doing fine, doing fine, doing fine. How are we looking? Look, Factory Street has finally started to clear up. We can pull this back a little bit. I don't really know that Roslyn is a big enough city yet to justify any sort of serious metro system. You know, I'm hoping it will be. Obviously, I've got a lot of plans out here that I want to get to. I think this is a good foundation. Really, I wanted to get some of this stuff into place so that as the city continues to grow, these things are already established. And you saw I had to tear a lot out to make this happen today. And I'd like to, you know, and it could have been a lot worse if things had developed even further than they already have. So I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I think it definitely adds to the downtown dimension here in this area. I think, I may think even about breaking these blocks up a little more and turning this into more of a high density area all around. Um, because the long blocks don't make the most sense here the way that they do in other places. Um, this could really become a more compact urban grid, which could be interesting. So, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thanks for tuning in and checking me out. Um, More to come. Stay tuned and take it easy.